Today is Monday, 9/25. The time is approximately 7:05. The location is 16 East 40th Street, New York, New York. My name is Rocco Mercurio. I'm a legal video specialist for MERCURIO'S Legal Videography, located at 344 Chestnut Street, Kearny, New Jersey. The case number is 56430, case entitled Joan LaFasciano versus Walter Realty. The deponent is John Edwards. The deposition was called by plaintiff Jipei Shang from Shang and Associates. Counsel and all will please introduce themselves for the record.
This is Jipei Zhang from the Zhang Associates representing the plaintiff.
This is Carl Anthony from Anthony and Associates representing the defendant.
The court reporter, Mike Valet, will now administer the oath from Rose's court reporting.
Raise your right hand. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name, occupation, and your home address.
John Edwards. I am a shoe salesman, and I live on 312 Lafayette Avenue.
Please tell me and describe what you saw on December 12, 2011.
I saw a woman fall, an elderly woman, on the sidewalk. Do you want me to tell you where I was and all that?
That'd be great.
Yeah,
Please do
I
that.
have that. I was on my stoop. I had just finished shoveling the snow, and I was smoking a cigarette when I heard a sound, someone screaming, and I looked, and it was a elderly woman on the ground, and I remembered that I had something on the stove, so I ran in quickly, took it off the stove, came back and attended to the elderly woman.
Okay. How far would you describe as the distance between your stoop where you were standing and the place where the old lady fell?
I'd say about 40 yards or so.
Okay. Could you describe the weather condition that day?
It was cloudy. It had just finished snowing, and there was icy patches on the ground. Definitely a lot of ice on the ground.
Yeah. And you can clearly see the road condition on her side as well as your side?
Yes.
Okay, great. And would you describe it as slippery?
Yeah, it was pretty slippery ice from doing a lot of shoveling. I could see that. Yeah, if somebody walked on it, they could easily fall.
Okay. On her side of the sidewalk, were there, could you tell whether it has been cleaned, or was there evidence that, or evidently effort?
Objection.
Okay. I guess that's all my questions for now.
Okay, Mr. Edwards, so you said you had finished shoveling and you were on the stoop and you were smoking a cigarette.
Yes.
Okay. And then you heard a scream, and you turned and you saw the elderly woman on the ground.
Yes.
Okay, so you didn't actually see her fall.
I guess I didn't see the act of falling, but I didn't see. Yeah.
Okay. So you screamed, but you heard the scream.
Yeah.
And then you saw her. And what was her condition on the ground there? Was she on her face, on her side, on her back?
She had fallen. When I came up to her, she was on her side.
She was on her side. Okay. All right. So after she fell, after you got your stuff from inside, you went and walked over to her.
Yeah, I approached her.
So describe what the ground looked like then.
The ground looked like it had been shoveled, but maybe it was still a little bit icy on the pavement.
Okay. But it looked like it had been shoveled.
Yeah, there was some effort.
Okay. And was the woman carrying anything? Was she walking with a cane? What was her?
The only thing that she had on her was a cane and her purse.
Okay. And did she say anything to you when you ran up to her?
No, she seemed like she was in pretty a lot of pain. So I just told her to, stay still, and we would take her to the hospital. Or get her some help.
And this woman, Joan LaFasciano, did you know her?
No, I didn't know I had seen her walking around the block, since I had been living there. But this was my first time actually like seeing her in person and actually like speaking with her.
Okay, but you'd seen her walking around before?
Yeah.
Okay, so how would you describe her ability to get around?
She walked with a cane. I know that from previous from seeing her before. But yeah, she didn't seem like the most mobile elderly person. So I don't know what she was doing walking around that day.
So if you didn't see her fall, then you don't know if she slipped or tripped or just collapsed or what happened.
Yeah, I guess.
Objection.
Did she indicate what happened to her?
No, she didn't give any like. I didn't ask her any questions. I just tried to tend to her injuries.
I need to go off the record for a minute. Is that okay with you, Ms. Zhang?
Okay.
Both counsel have agreed to go off the record. The time is approximately 7:11 p.m. This is case Joan Fasciano versus Walter Realty. We are now going off the record. Okay, the time is now 7:14:05. We are now going back on the record for the case Joan Fasciano versus Walter Realty. Go ahead.
Mr. Edwards, how old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay, and now this incident happened on Monday, December 12th at about 3 o'clock, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so were you not working?
No, I wasn't working at that time.
Okay, so you were unemployed?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I do odd jobs here and there.
Okay, and you smoke cigarettes?
Yeah.
Objection. Irrelevant.
Do you also drink alcohol?
Yes, actually I do.
Had you been drinking any alcohol that day when this incident occurred?
A little bit. It's snowing outside. It's cold. You got to do that, keep warm.
Describe a little bit. A couple of beers, 3 beers?
Objection.
It's a little Hennessy.
Little Hennessy.
Yeah, Hennessy, Coke.
Hennessy and Coke. How many would you say you'd had?
2.
Two Hennessy and Cokes, okay.
Yeah.
Had you eaten anything?
Well, I was cooking food to eat,
Okay.
at that
You had the
point.
Hennessy's first and then you were going to eat.
Yeah, I was going to have some pasta.
So you had some drinks on an empty stomach. You went out and shoveled snow.
Yeah.
Then you were smoking a cigarette. And then you heard the scream.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Have you used any drugs?
Objection. Irrelevant. This is irrelevant.
Should I answer?
It gets to credibility. We can have the judge decide.
Yeah. I mean, just a little bit of marijuana.
Okay, that day?
Yeah, earlier that morning.
Okay. That's all I have.
This concludes the deposition of John Edwards. Case entitled Joan Fasciano versus Walter Realty. The time is approximately 7:16. This is tape 1, volume 1. We are now going off the record.